everybody, let's get started with my little lesson, inspirational lesson for this summit. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this little project with you because I love to keep little cute, playful, colorful journals and books and just kind of add to the pages as I go. So we will create this little gratitude and happiness journal together. So maybe let's take a look at the journal first. So this is a journal that we're going to create together, or at least I will share share the process with you, and you can just follow me and play along and kind of add your own twist if you like, or just follow me exactly, so totally up to you. However, let's just take a look at this journal real quick. So this is like a canvas fabric cover here. The wrapper is canvas fabric. We will work with watercolors, with liquid watercolors. You can of course use the sticker, the free printable download that I'm sharing with you here in the summit. You can totally print them on sticker paper and have a machine cut them. If you have a silhouette cutting machine, for example, you can create your own stickers, self-adhesive stickers. However, it is totally fine to just print them out. Just make sure you use a laser printer, because once we add some Mod Podge, and if you use an inkjet printer, it might smudge the colors. That's not what we want, so you definitely want to print it on a laser printer. And then of course you can just go ahead and cut it out with the scissors and use some glue, some collage glue, to apply it to your project. So it's a little more convenient to have them as stickers, but totally not necessary, okay? Yeah, so this cute little journal here with some really colorful, fun, inspiring pages, and the pages are all kind of made out of different types and different thicknesses of paper. Is that a word? Different thicknesses, different sorts and types of paper, which kind of gives you a different feel if you touch the different pages. And I'm a person, I like to feel the texture and feel the paper. So for me it is completely inspiring to just feel the different types of paper already, okay? Like book pages and some thicker paper, some pattern paper, and some heavyweight watercolor paper. Yeah, so I will share this with you, and in the end you will end up with a similar little cute booklet or journal, similar to this one. And you definitely want to work in a color palette that inspires you, because yeah, whenever you grab this booklet, whenever you grab this little journal, I hope it will inspire you to just do a little bit of journaling and maybe a little bit of sketching or doodling, and just fill it with things you're grateful for, things that make you happy, so that in the end we will really have a cute little happiness and gratitude journal filled with many wonderful things that make us happy and that we are grateful for. And it's not only the process of filling the pages, of remembering things that day that you are grateful for and thankful for and that made you happy. So it's actually two times. It's making you happy 2 times whenever you're working in it, and just journaling, writing down, sketching down, doodling down your memories, your things that make you happy, make you grateful. But once the pages are filled and you have this little journal full of happy moments and moments that you are grateful for, whenever you're feeling a little down, you can just take it and flip through the filled pages in the end, and it will be an instant mood boost. Mood booster, is that a word? I think so. So it will just instantly put you in a happy place, make you happy and grateful for all the wonderful little things you actually have in your life, okay? So yeah, I think without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's create this together. I will just share the process with you. And in the end, after the process of creating this, I will also add in some inspiration on how I fill the pages and how I add my happy moments, happy memories to the pages, and how I kind of record those things that I'm grateful for in this little booklet. Okay, so you will also receive a little bit of inspiration for how to fill the pages, okay, because you not only want like a cute little pocket journal that's making you happy, but you definitely also want to use it. Okay, so let's get started, let's create this, and then afterwards I'll be back with some more ideas on what to add to the pages. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay, so first of all, you will need some fabric for the cover of the journal or for the envelope of the journal. I'm working with some heavyweight canvas fabric here, and you just cut it to size. Just go with a size that kind of feels good to you, that makes it handy to take the journal with you wherever you want to add to it or put it on your nightstand. And then I'm just pulling out some of those tiny strings here to kind of give a little bit of a ragged look to the edges here. Then I have a piece of corrugated cardstock. You could use this to kind of strengthen the spine a little later. As I proceed, I decided not to add this, but of course you could. Yeah, and then you will just need like a bunch of different papers for the inside pages, like old book pages, cardstock, pattern paper. I used a little bit of heavyweight watercolor paper, so really just a random selection of different types of paper, because this kind of adds interest to the journal in the end, to kind of have all those different types of papers. Okay, and then we will get started. First of all, I'm gonna add a white layer or a layer of white acrylic paint to this corrugated cardboard here. Again, you could apply this to the spine in the end to kind of make the binding a little stronger, but again, I didn't feel that it needed it in the end, so I skipped that in the end. And then I'm adding a layer of white acrylic paint. You could also use gesso to this like canvas fabric. Okay, and I'm not using a brush because I don't want this even coverage, this even layer of the color of the gesso, but instead I kind of want this very uneven application of the paint. I still want a little bit of the canvas fabric to peek through in some areas, and I kind of want this nice rough texture that a brayer leaves you with. Okay, so in some areas I apply a thicker layer of the white gesso, of the white acrylic paint. In other areas I add a very thin layer. Some areas are completely like uncovered, so just go with a little bit of this like shabby look. Okay, then you put it aside to dry, and then I do the exact same thing to all of my inside pages with, again, some white gesso in this case. To kind of prep all the pages to take the watercolors and some mixed media material in the next steps. Okay, so again, using the brayer because I kind of want this uneven coverage, this uneven layer of the gesso on the pages, because it kind of really adds a lot of interest to see a little bit of the underneath layers peeking through, and again it leaves you with this really, really nice texture. Okay, and you can achieve this just by using the brayer, so it is like super quick and easy. Once you covered all the pages, you will grab some watercolors, just some watercolors of your choice. Could use watercolors from the pan or the Ecoline liquid watercolors, for example. Those are the ones that I'll be working with. Again, go with any type of watercolor that you like. You could even add acrylic paint. You could even use like inks. So totally open, totally free. Again, I just picked watercolors because they are my favorite medium, and I kind of like Yeah, I like the watercolors, especially for a technique like this, for a very, very random, very loose, very like freestylish background. As you can see, I'm just using my aqua brush. You don't need an aqua brush, you could just use a normal brush with some clear water. However, especially for a technique like this, I love to work with an aqua brush because it gives you this constant water flow, which makes it so easy to kind of make the colors move around and blend and mix and mingle. As you can see, I'm just adding different colors, letting them blend in some areas, adding more water here and there. Then I'm dabbing some back off. Again, this process is supposed to be really fun. You can even add another page, lift it back off with this like kiss technique. You kind of add an interesting color effect to the other page as well, gives you a nice pattern here, softens the colors a little. So again, have fun with this, play with it, let the colors mix and mingle and blend around and move around. So really, there are no boundaries for this. Again, you could use other types of media like ink, for example, and because we added the layer of white gesso as a base coat, the colors will not bleed through the paper, even with a thin book page paper like this. Of course, in some areas where there's not a thick coverage with the white gesso, the colors might bleed through a little, but that's totally fine for me because I will add some color, some fun fun color pattern to the background or to the other side, to the opposite side as well. So I totally don't care if there's a little bit of bleed through here. Again, you could also add some metallic colors. That's what I will do because it kind of adds a little bit of this shimmery and sparkly effect. Okay, like totally fun. You could also use some iridescent colors, iridescent paints. They also add this like shiny, sparkly effect, which kind of makes the pages like really magical and absolutely stunning and beautiful. And as you can see, I'm also layering the watercolors. The first layer usually dries a little dull because if you work with watercolors on gesso, usually the colors dry rather like dull, pale, so they definitely become a lot lighter as they dry. Okay, so once you apply them, they seem to be like super vibrant, but once they dry on the gesso, on the white gesso, they kind of turn a little matte and don't stay as vibrant. But you can just layer the watercolors, so add more color on top of it once it is dry, and this will definitely intensify the vibrancy of the color application. Of course, you could just totally leave it with this like pale, very pastel-y look almost. So yeah, just go with what feels right to you. Okay, have fun with this, enjoy this process, because this again is just so freeing, because again, no right, no wrong. It's not a piece of art that you want to sell or that you want to put up on the wall that everybody will see. It is just your little space, your little gratitude journal. Okay, so nobody has to ever see it if you decide not to share it with anybody. Totally fine. Could be something like completely personal that only you will see. So again, play, have fun, and just let the colors and the different textures, let it guide you and see where it takes you. Just have fun spreading out the colors. And again, with watercolors, it is just so much fun to kind of let them do their own thing. Do a little bit of doodling here with the watercolors. Do a little bit of painting. You could add like tiny circles or dots or lines or splatters. You could even do a little bit of stenciling. So again, go with what feels right to you. See what supplies you have on hand, what supplies you have in your stash, and go wild and crazy, because again, this is so much fun, and this is just part of this whole process. And yeah, the more fun you kind of have creating this book, this journal, the more you actually will love this tiny booklet in the end. And it is super important that you really love this booklet, because you want to use it over a period of time, on a constant base, on a daily base. So you really kind of have to love this book. You really have to kind of look forward to grabbing it and adding to the pages. So definitely go with a color combination that speaks to you, and just again have fun, enjoy this process, and I'm sure if you enjoy this process, you will also enjoy working or adding to this journal, to this book in the end. Okay. Yeah, and once you added color to all the inside pages, as you can see now, I'm working on my canvas fabric here, on the fabric for the cover or for the wrapping of the whole journal. And you just apply the same techniques with the watercolor, with lots of water, let the colors blend and bleed, add a little bit of like a sparkly paint until you're happy with the look. And once it is dry, I'm adding some lightweight texture paste here using a stencil and a palette knife, just to add a little bit of like extra texture to this envelope of the booklet. And also I think those cute little tiny white dots, just a little bit of white design, kind of makes the other colors pop even more and kind of adds a little bit more contrast here. And some white, it's always good to kind of bring some white back into the game, and also some black, and that's what I'm doing now, just adding some black paint splatters here. And for those black splatters, I'm using the Irresistible texture spray, just applying it with this little nozzle here. Just some black splatters. Just make sure that those black splatters, that's something that dries waterproof, because you don't want to smudge them in the next step. Okay, so once I'm happy with the result, I'm just grabbing some stickers here from the printable sticker sheet. Again, that's a free gift. You can go and download this. Just follow the link on this page here, and you can download this and print it out with your laser printer, or have it laser printed for you if you don't have one. And then you can just apply this like to the cover, for example, and later to the inside pages. Again, I printed it on a sticker paper. That makes it a little easier to apply it. However, if you just print it on normal paper, you can just use some Mod Podge to kind of glue it to this canvas fabric here, because in the next step I kind of want to seal it a little using this Mod Podge, this Art Podge, and I kind of don't want a thick layer of the Mod Podge. I just want a very thin layer to kind of seal the stickers and the overall envelope here, the envelope of this, or the cover of this booklet. Okay, so I'm just again using the brayer, and I'm just adding a thin layer of the Mod Podge to kind of seal everything. Okay, and you just want to make sure that you don't move it around like too often, and don't overdo this step, because otherwise you will kind of reactivate the watercolors in the background, and you might kind of lose a little bit of your pattern here, of the watercolor pattern. So make sure you just add a thin layer that's good enough to kind of seal the surface. Okay, adding some more paint splatters. Yeah, and once I'm happy with the result, I can proceed and kind of assemble my booklet. Okay, I'm just folding this into half, and then I'm grabbing all the different pages. Again, they have different sizes, but for me, again, this kind of adds to the random feel of this. It's almost like a junk journal. Yeah, just checking out the different papers here and kind of putting them in an order that I like, more or less in a random order. I just kind of want to make sure that I have a good like mix here, so that later, once I flip through the pages, it is really, really colorful, and I kind of don't want the same colors following each other. I just kind of want to mix it up a little. So just making sure that everything yeah, is in a place where I like it before I assemble the whole book. So I'm just folding this into half, then slipping this inside my journal, just making sure everything fits in nice and neat. There's a little bit of overlapping there at the top, but I, again, like with a junk journal, I just totally love this look, this random look, this kind of unwanted look, uneven look. Of course, you could like cut all the pages the same size if that's what you want, but I kind of really prefer it that way. And then I'm just kind of stacking it and clipping it together, and then you want to punch 2 holes there in the center, in the spine. You want to use like a hole punch, like the crocodile. Mine is a little thicker, so I need the big bite, crocodile big bite. If you don't have this on hand, you could of course just hole punch it with a hand punch, or just poke a hole with something like sharp. You will get 2 holes in this, I'm sure about that. Just punch 2 holes, and then we can, yeah, just adhere all of this, all of the pages kind of together, just bind it with a very, very simple binding. Again, you could go wild and crazy, punch 3, 4, 5 holes, do some fancy binding here, but again, for me, I just kind of want it quick and easy and simple for usability. So just grabbing a little bit of a ribbon here, a lace ribbon, or could use some wool, whatever you have on hand and whatever, matches your taste and your color scheme and the look of your journal. And then I'm just threading this through the holes from the inside to the outside here. You can use something like a little pencil, that's what I'm using to kind of get it through the holes. Then I'm just like flipping it over to the outside, putting it into the right direction, like this. And then I have another piece of this lace ribbon here. This will go right there in the center, because this will be the closure for our little booklet later. Just tying this together, so this ribbon piece that's kind of holding all the pages and the cover together. And then I'm just tying a knot with this other piece of ribbon here, which will kind of be the closure for our little booklet later. Yeah, just removing the clip, and yeah, that's actually it. Super quick, super easy, and just so addicting. It's just so much fun to just create those teeny tiny journals. And yeah, once you're kind of started, you get so many ideas, not only for like a gratitude journal or a happiness journal, but for so many other types of journals and booklets and albums. So this is really, really fun. Also a great thing to give away to a friend or to family. A little journal or a little booklet, a little planner. So yeah, I really love this process, and I hope you enjoy creating this as well.
Yeah, so here we are with our little journal. All the cute, I can't say cute a lot, all the beautiful, colorful, sparkling in my case, pages. And I just love those tiny booklets. They already like make me happy the way they are, even if I wouldn't fill the pages. They're just like so adorable to just have them on display somewhere, and just kind of makes me happy to grab it and flip through pages. However, I mentioned that earlier, we not only want to create the book, but I also want to share some inspiration on how I use this, or how you could use this. Okay, so I really love to keep a little happiness and gratitude journal. I actually have different variations of gratitude journals, happiness journals. I have a planner that I use for this. I love to use like just art journals and kind of add my little personal things to it. However, I found that a cute little teeny tiny journal like this, with pages that are already like prepped, okay, with pages that already look like a little work of art just on its own, with color added and texture added. It kind of really helps me to make it a habit to really like write down things that I'm happy about, things that made me happy that day, things that I'm grateful for. On a daily base, maybe not a daily base, but on a regular base, definitely, because again, I don't want to like add pressure to my life. So for me, it really helps to not call it a daily thing to do, because that kind of adds this core thing, so this thing that you have to do it and that you could fall behind. And I'm not about adding like pressure to my life by adding another project that kind of has to be done each and every day, okay? But once you get started, you will realize that it kind of comes automatically. I have little booklets like this on my nightstand actually, and I just have a black pen. I have a white pen, and I have a really thick black pen. So that's all I have on my nightstand, and that's all I need actually. You could of course add some of the stickers close by if you want to use them. However, as you can see, like the pages, they're works of art themselves. It only needs a little bit of like writing, maybe some doodling, and yeah, you will definitely add your you make this personal. Okay, right now it's just a fun artsy craft project, but once you fill the pages, it's just something really personal. It's something that you really will treasure, okay, and you will love to just flip through the pages again and again. And again, I made it a habit to, in the evening, I have this on my nightstand, and in the evening I just take 1, 2, 3 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of time, right before I'm ready to go to sleep, to kind of recap the day, and to just kind of come up with 1, 2, 3 different things, moments, experiences that day, whatever. It doesn't have to be big things, okay? Sometimes it's just a teeny tiny, small little things that kind of made you happy that day, and that you are grateful for, that you should be grateful for, okay? And if you just journal, write those down. You don't have to use the pages in order. You can just open it up somewhere. Just work on a page that kind of calls you, that kind of speaks to you that day. And you can also just add to pages that you started already. No particular order. Again, no rules in here, okay? Just open it, see what speaks to you, and jot down some of the things that you've been grateful for that day, that happened to you, just things that kind of make you happy. And that kind of helps in the evening to kind of go to sleep with a positive mindset, because the last things you kind of remember before you drift off to sleep are positive, good things, things that make you happy, things that you are grateful for, right? And there's no better way to kind of drift into dreamland than with some positive, good thoughts and things in mind that you are grateful for, okay? Yeah, so that's why I would suggest to do this in the evening. However, you could just do it during the day, in the morning, whatever fits your schedule and your personality. For me, it really helps to do this in the evening. And you will see that once you make this a habit, even during the day, you will be a lot more mindful towards those little things that happen to you during the day. Things that you should be grateful for, right? Things that usually, if you wouldn't do a practice like this, you usually might completely ignore those moments or those little things that you should be grateful for. But once you do this, again, during the day, you will realize so many teeny tiny things that should make you happy, that you should be thankful for, because you know that in the evening you will have to come up with something to add to your booklet, okay? So that really helps not only in the evening to kind of drift into dreamland with some positive thoughts, but even during the day you will realize that if you make this a habit, you will totally be more open to really see all those tiny positive good things, okay? Those things that you should be grateful for. Yeah, so I think without further ado, I will just put you in fast forward again. I will just fill 1 or 2 pages here just to give you a little bit of an example of how I would do it, how I would fill the pages, and then you can just run and make it yours and do your own thing, and totally share it with me. If you create a little journal like this, please tag me on social media. I would love to take a look at it. You don't even have to share the personal things that you might add to the pages, because sometimes this could get really very personal and you might not want to share that online, but you can share the booklet before you add your personal thoughts and journaling to the pages, and I would love to take a look at this. So let's jump right in, and I will just get started and write a couple of things down and fill some pages with things that make me happy and that I'm grateful for today. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned before, just find a page that speaks to you in no particular order. And again, you could use the journaling stickers from the printable file, the other stickers to kind of do a little bit of decoration on your pages. Totally depends on how much time you have on hand and how inspired you maybe feel that day. Some days I just want to add a couple of words or write a little bit. Some days I might want to add a little more journaling, writing a little more about what I'm grateful for that day, what makes me or made me happy that day. Again, sometimes it's just 1 or 2 words that I want to kind of capture on the pages. Sometimes I want to do a little bit of doodling to kind of go along with my journaling and with my writing. Again, some pages will be a little more sophisticated and some will be very, very simple, very, very easy. And yeah, which way ever you want to do it, it is totally fine. And again, it will just depend on the different days, on your mood, on how much time you have, on how tired you are, maybe on what happened that day. Some days there are definitely more things that are happening and that you definitely kind of want to add to your happiness journal, to your gratitude journal. And some days it might just be 1 or 2 words or little memories that you might want to jot down. You could just write directly onto the pages. You don't need the journaling spots. Again, it's your journal, everything goes. In the end, what counts is the memories and the journaling and the things that you kind of add to your pages. No matter in which way, it is important that you just get it out and get it down on paper so you can remember and you can look back at it. Yeah, and just be mindful every day towards all the happy and good things in your life that you should be grateful for.
Yeah, so those are just 2, 3 little examples of how to fill the pages with things that make you happy, with things that you are thankful and grateful for. You could create a whole page like here, using the stickers, the printable sticker files that you can download, especially if you have very dark pages where it's hard to write directly on the pages. You can use those journaling spots, okay? That would be one option, for example. Or you could just pop on a sticker or whatever you have on hand, a magazine cutout, something that inspires you, something that draws your attention, or no imagery at all. Of course, it's totally optional. No right or wrong here, no rules. Then just do a little bit of journaling here on a page. If it's important, to connect the journaling entry or what you wrote to a certain date, you definitely want to jot down the date as well. Sometimes that's important. It just makes sense with what you wrote. Sometimes it doesn't, or it's not that important on which day exactly you did the journaling or you wrote something down. Another option is just pop a sticker or just write directly onto the page one thing that you're grateful for example. You don't have to fill a whole page. Sometimes you don't have the time. Maybe if you're doing this in the evening, you're totally tired. So all you can do is just write down 1 sentence. That's totally fine as well. Again, it's your booklet. Just work in it in any way you like. No rules here, no right or wrong. Do whatever you fancy. Like on this page, for example, I just wrote this, and maybe another day when I flip through the pages, I would just go in and write another positive thing, another thing that makes me happy, another thing that I'm grateful for, right here onto this page. I don't know, just something, could be something really, really simple, like, I don't know, sunshine. Right? Could just do this to add a tiny bit of doodling maybe. So it doesn't always have to be like the big things, the big events that you're grateful for, or that you like journal about, or that you add to your journal, to your booklet. It can be like the really simple, mundane things like sunshine, for example. And someday, or some days, this might be like the only thing that I write down, so that takes me like 20 seconds and I'm done, and I still have found something that I was grateful for on that day. So again, it doesn't have to be like all the big things, all the big events, because let's face it, in our everyday life, not every day is like something super important, something big going on that you can like write about, a journal about, that you are thankful for. But there are always things to be thankful for, or that are worth being thankful for, even the tiniest things like sunshine, for example, or the bigger things like so grateful for being part of Lifebook 2019. Yay! So guys, I hope this little lesson here in Summit inspired you. I hope yeah, you played along, you maybe created your own little journal, your own little gratitude and happiness journal. And again, once all the pages are filled, it's just so fun to flip through the pages and to just read all the different positive things that can make you happy and that you are thankful for, right? And once you filled all the pages, you might want to do another one. Yeah. So again, tag me if you created this. Please share it with me. I would love to take a look. So thanks so much for joining me, for being here, and yeah, see you all again around the internet, or maybe next year in Lifebook. I would totally love to see you there as well. Okay, bye folks.